Good morning, citizens. How are you today? Today is Thursday, January 19th, and it has been a fairly light week so far in the verse, with the 3.18 release still somewhere far on the horizon. And this week in Star Citizen is what I could only describe as lackluster. It was not until late last night that things started to pick up. Before we get started, I do have some good news, and you are seeing a bit of that now. In my last video, I searched the entire verse trying to find a Pico, only to have the game to freeze up in what for me was an entirely new and spectacular way. Afterwards, I just closed the program. I got right to editing. I didn't want to get back into it. It had been in a long session trying to find that ball, so I just edited the video. I put it out. So to my surprise and absolute delight, the next time I loaded up Star Citizen, I spawned in my ship. And not only that, but I wasn't stuck in a wall or standing or anything like that, but fully back in my seat in control of my ship. I landed, and indeed, Pico was still in the inventory and safely now stored on Everest. So what a great start to that session. I'll still lose him in the next wipe, but until then, I'll have to think of something I can do with him. Perhaps I'll leave him in a spaceport or sneak onto someone's ship and leave him behind. Let someone else find it and discover it. We'll see. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with that yet. On to the news. Sorry, it's been a rough week. A busy time with the upcoming exams and some real-world fun with home ownership as water started seeping up through my basement, which is bad enough on its own, but compounded with the fact that the basement is where I have my computer and record my videos. It's understandable that that's been taking up a little bit more of my time. On to more important news. Firstly, I've been very busy. I recorded a fairly long video in response to a comment on this channel about a possible bug with the rock and rock mining. So I set about doing that, trying to get that to work and seeing if I could discover this bug on my own. I ended up with about an hour and a half of footage to go through and edit, so I will get that out, but it's going to take a while. It is a standalone video, so it's okay if I take my time on that one. It's not going to be really affecting any other videos. I might actually want to wait until the patch comes out and try again and see if things have changed. So I'll keep some of that video up here. You can see some of that video I recorded while I talk about some upcoming fun. At the start of the week, we got our previously mentioned This Week in Star Citizen update. It had began with a bit of a talk about the Daymar Rally. Now, if you've never heard of the Daymar Rally, it's a fan-made event with various teams all over the world competing in like a Dakar-style race across Daymar, usually with a few checkpoints like a reclaimer along the way. It's a little over 500 kilometers long. They have 3 categories. They have like the hover bikes and ground vehicles like the larger rovers and the smaller faster vehicles. It is a really cool thing. Organizers usually try to fill up a server with competitors, cameramen, etc., trying to avoid griefing. It's going to be kind of interesting now that the servers have a cap of 100, how that's going to go. Hundreds of people compete, and you can watch along. There's a Twitch channel. I think there's another way to watch. Maybe it is on YouTube as well. So I would love to compete on this sometime. I've always been a fan of the Daymar Rally, so check it out. Tune in. It's January 21st, so that's going to be on this weekend to see what's happening. It's great. There's amazing sponsored prizes every year. Physical items. There's been things like trophies, like medals, as well as ships. So check it out. It's a really cool thing. 100% is probably one of the best fan-run events, in my opinion, that happens every year. Yesterday, we got 2 months worth of our monthly reports as CIG staff have returned from their holidays. Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live are still off, so no news, no new things from them yet. The report is a really big one. It's very large, talking about work on the AI tech and animations, then some ship-related news. After they were done, the Corsair artists have White Box 2 new, and I think in this report, unnamed ships, one with new entrance and exit they say are different than other ships. Although once you get to the pilot seat, I'm still thinking they're probably going to have the same sit and rotate that they've been putting on every other ship they've been building. And new white box of a production vehicle. If I go through the progress tracker, I might be able to figure out what vehicles they might be talking about, but I can't be bothered with that. And then also work on the Crusader Spirit, which is a ship that I'm very excited about, and one day might become my replacement in game for buying the Cutlass Black. They talk about the VIP escape raft and the new and unannounced ship, which I do wish they'd kind of slow down on new ships when so many older ships need to be started up. In a previous video, I quickly at one point had like a fleet picture up. That was actually a photo of all the currently known but unreleased ships. So I might actually put that up again if I can find that image again. There's a lot of ships they need to work on, so why are they continually getting new and new ships? Well, to make money, of course, but they need to like get some of those other ships out. That would be great. Or, you know, gold pass some of the other ships. Fix the MSR. But on the other hand, I'm happy if they wait longer and longer to fix some of those ships so that they don't have to then go back and fix them another time. They talk about the cargo refractor, Ask Me Anything, then the Expo, the cutter, etc., etc. And this is the issue with the first reports that are after the holidays. They have some interesting info, but there's a lot of it, and by this point, it's going back so far, it's not really anything new. There's a lot of talk about the new renderer, gameplay, in-game lore, pyro, looting, some in-game branding. It's still worth a good read, so grab yourself a cup of tea, curl up for an hour, and give this latest novella from CIG a look. Tomorrow, or today, possibly by the time you're watching this, it will have been the start of the New Year's celebration, the Red Festival. As always, there's going to be some ship sales. I don't know what those ships will be at. There's going to be some red and gold paints that are going to be available for those ships as just buying the paints or as part of these game packages. There's going to be more envelopes scattered across the major landing zones. So you're looking at Grim Hex and the cities, Lorville, Area 18, Orison, and New Babbage. It's very much like the green gifts that are happening during Luminalia. You can collect those, you can sell them, make a little bit of money. With the upcoming patch, again, not super worth it, but it's always good if you're like waiting for a ship to claim. Run around, grab those, sell them later. At least you're making back the money you're spending on speeding up your claim process. I don't know if there's anything else. They did mention that they're putting in other things. There's 4 things put into the patch that was coming out, the hot patch 3.17.5. I don't know if that means it's the envelopes and 3 paints, or if there may be something else. So we'll have to see what's coming out, if there's any other goodies coming out with that patch. Also, they're going to have the return of Siege of Orison, and for a non-combat focused player such as myself, I have to be honest and say it is my second favorite event, just being eked out by Xenothreat, so I will 100% be taking part in Siege of Orison for some fun times. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be taking my break to watch the Daymar Rally. And so that's it. New Year starts tomorrow. I did have a few more things I want to talk about. The upcoming giveaways on this channel, the referral bonus ships that were given out by CIG. But I think instead of burying those deep in this video, I'll end this here, and I'll make some newer, smaller ones. Hopefully I'll get those out soon as well. So thank you for watching, and have a wonderful Red Festival in the verse. Goodbye, everyone.